plethora of newspapers to choose from in your local Serbian shop. I've got some of them here. This first one is Politika. This is a state-owned newspaper, and throughout its long history it's followed the party line of whoever happened to be in control at that certain point. Here is Danas, one of the so-called Blue Tops. Danas was founded in 1997 when its editorial policy was anti-Milosevic. Today it's considered by many to follow the Democratic Party, which is currently in power. The best-selling daily newspaper in Serbia is this one, Blitz. It's owned by a Swiss company, and in appearance and layout it's much like a British tabloid. However, if you read it, you will see that there's quite a lot of serious news covered within. There are also many tabloids in Serbia. I've got two of them here. Press, for example, which today is leading with 44-degree temperatures in Belgrade and Novi Sad, the lovely hot weather we're enjoying at the moment. And most notoriously of these tabloids probably is Courier. This newspaper breaks rules and regulations with complete disregard for the consequences. Now today Courier is leading with Zašto Bradic ćuti? Why Nebojša Bradic, this man pictured, is silent.
Nebojša Bradic is the culture minister, and Courier is campaigning against an imminent amendment to the information law. The government claim this amendment is designed to curb irresponsibility in the media through heavy fines. Where once there was totalitarian control of the media, there is now a lack of control through legitimate rules. If Serbia is to conform to EU standards, they must bridge this gap. Were you consulted about the new media law and about the form it would take?
The government never consulted us. They wrote the law in secret. We were never told in advance of what it would contain. We heard about the draconian fines they're trying to impose the day that they sent the law to Parliament. That was the first inkling we had of what the government planned to do.
Do you trust this government to implement the law fairly?
I would not trust any government to implement this kind of law. This law is designed to shut down media outlets in a very quick fashion. No government should be trusted with a law like that, and it scares me to think what government could come after this one and what a new government could do with other media outlets that this government isn't targeting.
I put these concerns to Natasha Vučković-Lesendrić at the Ministry of Culture.
We have tried to introduce more responsibility for revealing identity of minors, for breaching presumption of innocence, for using pornography in current or existing public information law. There was no connection between media as newspaper, media channel, I would say, or media platform, newspaper, program, or TV or radio program, and founder of that media. So it actually, in existing information bill, those were two different separate things. So it's simply created an atmosphere where some media companies were getting huge profits, misusing right to the public world by accusing some people before even there was any kind of court case.
So those fines are very often not reaching their effect. As to the media who breach, for example, like rights of minors, this is our concern, or presumption of innocence.
There was photo images published in two actually newspapers, one of them Press, the other one Courier. The image was published on the cover page, was showing a naked body of I would say teared apart. We have, as information bill allows us, we have pressed some charges against editors for publishing such images on the cover page of newspaper, because we couldn't press any charges against the founder of the company. The court case took almost a year, and the fine for that, was 400 euros.
The government's answer is to greatly increase the fines that will be issued.
We are worried that too high level of fines potentially could lead to closing of the media outlets and to self-censorship.
You aim at someone, you hit someone else. Once you give the power to get at certain newspapers, yeah, and I don't like those newspapers either, but you're aiming at Korea, and you're going to hit B92. That's my worry. Also, economic crises make stations more vulnerable to other pressures.
What kinds of pressures?
Well, you've talked to Veran Matic. He talks about how B92 on the Insider program investigated the port of Belgrade, and then he got calls from people who were tycoons who were behind large advertising agencies say you're going to lose this contract or that contract.
U Srbiji se dogodilo spajanje političkih i tajkunskih interesa. A politički i tajkunski interesi obuhvataju većinu marketinškog tržišta. Znači, da biste imali dovoljno reklama, da biste imali dovoljno novca za finansiranje svojih operacija, vi morate biti dobri s tajkunima ili s političarima. Morate biti dobri sa kompanijama koje su vodeće u zemlji, a onda to znači da vi ne smete loše govoriti o ogromnom broju tema. To je ono što insajderi B92 rade. Dakle, mi svesno pristajemo da izgubimo reklame da bismo imali kvalitetan istraživački program.
These powerful people influencing editorial decisions are as big a threat as anything to the freedom of Serbia's media. What is most worrying is that in the past they have often done so with government acquiescence. Journalists hope a change is on the horizon.
I cannot say that I feel fulfilled as a journalist in Serbia, but they're not going to kill my enthusiasm and will to work as a journalist here in Serbia. They simply cannot do that. Still, maybe I'm young, I'm only 24 years old, so there's plenty of time. Of course, I do hope that one day this country will be a great place for journalists to come, just to give them a place to work and to be themselves.